So we must do two things, two great things together to encompass that enormous new view that lies before us, but to encompass it within the framework of science, to see it within the whole categorical framework of science, and to see that these two are not separate, but that they are wedded. The bigness of the idea, the newness of the idea, the greatness of it is one with the structure of science, the structure of being itself. And we come to truth as truth. Here we have, you remember from the sixth day of creation, that it's the compound idea, man. So the impulsion, attraction of love is demanding, is assuring that manhood be fulfilled. Here it's his highest destiny. Jesus begins to fulfill that mission. He enters into Jerusalem. He sees, first of all, that the temple wasn't fulfilling its purpose, and he casts out the money changers. Mr. Dorley says it has a lot to do with fulfilling the purpose for which something was brought forth, was created. He sees that the temple has to be changed. He sees the barren fig tree, and so he causes it to wither away. He tells the parable of the unfruitful vineyard, and the marriage feast. We also get the story of the 7 husbands here, right? You remember that story of the 7 husbands, the woman who came? She had had 7 husbands, and she said, well, what of the world to come? What's going to happen in the coming world? Who will I be married to? I've had 7 husbands. What of the institution of marriage? And how am I going to deal with that problem when I get there? It's sort of a latent thing, I think, in the human mind. And Jesus says it's another paradigm. It's a completely different paradigm. It's the paradigm of science, that in the resurrection, that we neither marry nor are given in marriage, but you are complete. You see, it's the change in that belief that we have to be married to someone else in order to have our wholeness. What do we have to be wed with? Wed with science, wed with love. Then you are complete, you are whole, you are male and female, and you are one with God. That's the new goal. That will be a new goal. Each one finding his completeness and his wholeness with God. Let's put on that wedding garment. Then you have, coming on the heels of that, the royal wedding, right? All being invited to the royal wedding. Do you remember that story that Jesus told? Everyone is invited to come to the royal wedding. But most are too busy. You see, I can't make it. I have to go here or go there or have something else to do. It's very much a question of devotion, of respect, of awe for the spiritual. Do we have a sense of awe for it? Are we committed to the spiritual idea? Or do we have another commitment, other commitments? Finally, they were able to find somebody that could come to the royal wedding, but he had no wedding garments on. You perhaps recall that story. And it says that because you have no wedding garments, you will be cast into outer darkness, complete darkness. So it's the garment of truth, really adapted by love to recognize, to welcome a new paradigm of being wed to the spiritual idea. We must be wed to the spiritual idea. We said it's about the compound idea man. We see manhood as the compound idea, which includes in one infinite idea the truth about every single thing in the universe. Everything fulfilling its perfect office. So we just keep moving. We come to truth as love. We see something about the destruction of the temple being prophesied. Jesus prophesies the destruction of the temple. He says, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall never pass away. So the material calculus is going out, and he's saying, and that material calculus will not remain standing under the impact of love. The last judgment has these two sides, on the right hand and on the left hand. On the right hand are those who inherit the kingdom prepared from the foundation of the world. On the left, those who should depart from me unto everlasting fire. Boy, talk about the equivalence of God. So now we come to love. Love bringing true fulfillment to manhood, complete fulfillment to true manhood, and the fact that no error can prevent salvation. No error can prevent the development of eternal life, truth, and love. No error can prevent life, truth, and love to be understood and demonstrated as supreme above all. That's what love says. So we see that love has two aspects, love as truth and love as love. And we see that love as truth is showing us this fact in the face of error, And love as love is showing us this fact of fulfillment in the face of love, the oneness of being. So let us go here, and we see that love is bringing true manhood to its final conclusion. Love and love's idea is one. If you think of that, looking at things, looking at the whole picture from the face of error or in the face of error, and on the other hand, in the face of the oneness of being, this is somehow the equivalence of love. Love says, it's all one thing. It's all me. It's all that great attractor going on, bringing everything to fulfillment, no matter what the phenomena are, no matter how they look. Because love and love's idea are always one. Love is one with its perfect creation. And love's plan is to enforce salvation in every detail, under every circumstance. Nothing can subvert that. Nothing can prevent it. It is inevitable, inescapable. It's the destiny that cannot be reversed. Divine love can never be deprived of its manifestation or object. Love's halo rests on its object. All of this comes into the picture, and we get that complete success of the story of Jesus' life. Complete success. And that which looks like failure isn't failure. It's success. It's all of the phenomena playing their role, playing their part to bring out the success of love and of the true man, the Christ man, brought to fulfillment. So everything now begins to gather momentum. Jesus is in Jerusalem. He has arrived. He knows what his business is. So life comes in. The first thing that we see is life. Life saying there is no stalling now. There's no holding back. Love is here. The hour of glory is here. Everything is gathering momentum for that hour of glory. So from the standpoint of love as truth, as life, we see that what is coming about on the scene is the Feast of Passover. He says, you know that after 2 days is the Feast of Passover. And he is referring to himself. Okay.